Welcome back to today's episode of Inside Leesburg. Jay Connell was first elected to the Leesburg City Commission in 2020 and again in 2024. As Mayor Pro Tem, Jay is responsible for filling in for the mayor in his absence. He now joins us in the studio. Thanks so much for joining us, Jay.
Well, thank you, Katie, for inviting me.
Yeah. So let's start by talking a little bit about your background. Where are you from and what do you do here in Leesburg?
I'm from here in Leesburg. I grew up here, went to Leesburg High School. I've worked in Lake County government now for 35 years at several different cities. The last 15 of those years were with the City of Leesburg. I'm a building official, fire inspector. I've done code enforcement. I've done zoning, law enforcement. So I've done a wide variety of things in Lake County government over the last 35 years.
What inspired you to run for commission?
Well, you know, it's something I'd thought about from time to time, Katie, but I wasn't in a position to be able to do it at the time. But when I finally got to the point in my life I could do it, I gave it about a year and I really thought about it. And, you know, I finally decided I'm going to do this. It's something I wanted to do. I wanted to give back to the city and the citizens of Leesburg. Yeah. And I felt like this was the best way I could do this.
Yeah. What are your goals for your time as Mayor Pro Tem?
Well, my goals is what the citizens want. I don't have an agenda, if you will, a personal agenda. I feel like as an elected official, you represent the citizens, and you should listen to the citizens and what they want, and that should be your goals of what you try to achieve on a city level of what the citizens want. They voted you in, you should listen to them.
You've become a vocal opponent of what you consider overdevelopment here in Leesburg. How would you like to see growth managed?
I personally think growth in the city of Leesburg is out of control. I have been a proponent against growth. I think we need to slow it down. And there's several factors. I don't know if you want to get into them now or you want to get into them at a later part of the show. But there's numerous things that the city needs to address as far as the growth issues.
Well, growth is one of our biggest hot topics, and we get a lot of questions on it. So
well,
if you want to, let's
talk
get
about
into it. Yeah.
Leesburg is, I think, too aggressive on annexations and development, and I'll give you numerous reasons why. Presently, Leesburg has annexed over the years residential properties. We have over 35,000 lots that have been annexed and rezoned for houses. That's probably double what the current city has in actually houses built. That's not counting the villages. That's 35,000 not counting the villages. As you can see from our map of developments that have been approved in the city, and then there's a ledger beside it that corresponds to each development. It tells you to the right of that how many units are approved. If you go down to the bottom, you'll see this map's about a year old. This map indicates over 29,000. We're probably at 35,000, and that doesn't include the villages. The villages is below that, like at 14,000. We don't have the infrastructure to support this type of growth. The roads, let's talk about the roads. Well, most of these roads that these developments are coming onto are either county roads or they're state roads, which means they own the right-of-ways. Leesburg can do nothing to improve these roads. They're not our roads. But either the county or the state would have to come in to approve and widen these roads. Well, anybody that knows anything about road construction knows you can't improve a road overnight. It takes years, if not a decade, to improve them. The school system, the latest Lake County concurrency that I've seen, our high school's at 90% capacity. Well, you can't build schools overnight. Where are these kids going to go to school at? Well, we're not going to have the facilities for them. Our water and wastewater, we have enough capacity as of today, I guess, to accommodate 8,000 homes. until you're looking to a major expansion to our wastewater plants. So we don't even have the sewer capacity, the wastewater, to accommodate what we've already developed or approved and brought into the city. Our water, we don't have enough water approved for what we can, our consumptual use permit is for 4,000 homes. Well, you've got 35,000 homes here. So you'd have to go back to the state to get them to approve pumping more water from our aquifer. With these things said, I just feel like enough is enough. I mean, how many residential lots do you need already in the city? Based on our current growth pattern, we have enough lots already approved in the city to handle our current growth pattern for the next 70 years, 70 plus years. How much more do you need to annex in? I mean, 70 years worth of growth, you've already, you've got to accommodate if we stay on the current growth pattern. But I can tell you now, Katie, if any of this really just takes off overnight, and you just get a major housing boom, Leesburg's in a world of hurt. You don't have the sewer capacity for it to accommodate. You don't have the water capacity. You definitely don't have the roads to accommodate all this growth if this were to take off. You don't have the school system. What are you doing? I mean, we're creating a potential major problem for this city if we continue to do this. Yeah.
So is the solution in your mind then a growth moratorium?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Stop the annexations. We don't need any more residential property. I wouldn't propose to stop any annexation that's going to be commercial development, because I think we need commercial development here. We need more jobs. We need more amenities. But any future growth that's going to accommodate nothing but residential, we don't need any more of it.
You talked a little bit on infrastructure, and that was one of the things that I wanted to ask you about. What would you say is the state of our infrastructure, and what needs to be done?
Well, say our infrastructure, if you want to look at our infrastructure as water and wastewater, I think presently we're fine. I mean, I think we've got enough wastewater to accommodate. We just put a pretty big expansion onto our turnpike plant for wastewater, but it's not near enough to accommodate what's being annexed and rezoned into the city. And I think the city's looking at, well, we're annexing and we're rezoning this, but some of it may be built, some of it may not be. But I think you got to look at the big picture. If it all gets built in a short time period, you have a real problem in the city. I mean, a real problem. And as far as wastewater plants, that's 10 millions and millions and millions of dollars to put expansions on there. I mean, it's very expensive, and we just said we just don't need to keep annexing all this in. We don't have the infrastructure to support it.
Another topic that you've been vocal about is economic development, specifically in South Leesburg. What would you like to see in that area?
Well, South Leesburg, as you can see from the map, is the majority of the growth is all South Leesburg here. And South Leesburg has a major need for development. I mean, quality restaurants, more retail, more medical facilities. And Leesburg, years ago, when I worked there, it had a department. It was an economic development department, and that's exactly what their main goal was to go out and reach out to try to bring economic commercial development to the city. Well, for some reason the city did away with this department. And I feel like Leesburg does nothing to go out and try to outreach to bring commercial development to the city for jobs, for amenities, those type of things. I was able to get past a very small amount of money this last budget to do an outreach to some advertising firms to try to bring in some commercial development. So I definitely think Leesburg needs to do a better job on trying to bring in commercial development.
And do you think that means bringing back an economic development department, or do you think, what's the solution to that, do you think?
Well, I don't really know, because I really don't know why the city did away with it. I wasn't with the city when that department was dissolved. But yes, I think the city might want to look at bringing a department back. I think we have a lot to offer when it comes to commercial and economic development. I just don't think we do a good job of advertising and promoting ourselves.
Jay, thank you so much for being here and sharing your insight and bringing up this map for us.
Well, thank you for inviting me, Katie.
Absolutely. All right, we hope you enjoyed this edition of Inside Leesburg. The Leesburg City Commission meets every second and fourth Monday of the month at 5:30 p.m. in City Hall. The public is welcome. Meeting agendas are available at leesburgflorida.gov. And don't forget, you can tune into meetings live on the City of Leesburg's Lakefront TV. And you can catch past meetings on Lakefront TV's YouTube channel and on our video on demand at lakefronttv.com. Until next time, I'm Katie Sartoris. Get outdoors and enjoy this beautiful place we all call home.